Here we are at Gunslinger, the 9th scenario in Rollercoaster Tycoon 3. We are again using the Western theme here. There's a railroad. Actually, you come here by train to the entrance. No train here though, right now. Okay, is it possible to get a train? No, doesn't seem like it. Anyhow, that's not what we're focusing at. We have a hotel. I guess we also have a sheriff's office, some saloon, and a theater here. So the old frontier beckons you to a western theme park that's about to be put up to pasture. Be quick on the draw to rustle up some improvements and put some wild back into the west. So what do we do with this park? Oh yeah, we also have a bunch of food stands, stalls there already. We want to increase the park value, also have a coaster of 270 meters. I guess this one is already one of them. We want to repay a loan and increase the park value even further, and we also will have a VIP visiting next year. So we have 10,000, of which all is a loan. Okay, so we need to repay all of that, but also invest a bit first. Tavern Capers. Is that one? All right. Well, I guess that's a sign to start in to start to hire a bunch of staff. I think there's a bunch of litter all around this park, so we'll actually start off with quite a few janitors. So we'll see how that goes. You over there. I don't know how much that will cost us, but I think it's good in the long run for the park rating, for example. So we'll start with those 7 ones. But I guess we should focus at our coaster at once then. So we want 270 meters. We also want an excitement rating of at least 4. So I believe this one fulfills that. Oh, it has an excitement rating of 2.87, so we'll need 2 coasters actually towards the end. Huh. Alright. And it's, well, that one's 380 meters long, so that's good. For the meantime, why is this so low? I thought this one would be more than that. Huh. Alright. But for a coaster, so we only needed 270 meters and an excitement rating of 4, so maybe we don't need something too expensive. We have already used the Mine Mania and what was it called? Mine Mountains or something? So we could possibly use the Mine Adventure here then. It is, well, slightly cheaper and it's an excitement rating of 4 and the ride length is 300 meters, which is more than 270. Oh, yeah. Alright, so with that one fit over here, I think we want to try to keep as much close in the beginning. Yeah, we could put it right there. Okay, it got placed one step up, but no problem. We'll have the entrance a bit further back, I think, and we can have the exits up here. And then put a path to it down right there. Alright. We can have the queue go straight into that one. Or actually, do we want the queue on the main path, possibly, so that people will enter a bit more sporadically if we want to. Let's try that. I think so. Just switch the fences. Alright. But are people paying to go on this one with a 2.87? At least they did. The queue is quite long, 350. Seemed possibly a bit high. We'll see what people will pay for this one in the end. I think we can increase it to, well, there to increase it to that for the time being. But we don't need the people to walk onto all these paths over here. We are also having some research, I see. Okay, so let's actually just look at that. To start with, we'll remove the ones that we know that we won't really need. How do we have it with a couple of attractions here? Only 3 thrill rides. So let's focus on that. No water rides. Let's start with that. Alright. What did I say? The path. So we can place just some signs that people should not enter in that direction. Do we want people to wander around there? Sure, you can do that for now. So no entry there and no entry here. So now we already have a bunch of people actually queuing or walking towards this coaster here. So that's great. Maybe we can even take a bit for that one already. Can we have more cars also? We could try that later on when it has finished, or if we see that there's demand for it with a queue. But we can also add, let's add the lasso, I suppose. Would it fit? Oh, there's also quite a bit of terrain in the park. Let's see. Yeah, it would actually fit here. But it can, if we rotate it this way, people will see it from over there. We can have the entrance there with the queue that people can exit at the back. That's great. So let's open that. It's set at 2 to start with. And we can also place the TNT vortex. Would it fit here in the center? It's precisely that it won't. We could remove the path, but no, not really. We could also have it here by the entrance. Oh, we've already passed the apprentice level. Okay, great. So that means we need to repay our loan at 10,000 eventually. We could also have it over here. Where would it fit better? Actually, I think it looks quite good near the entrance. So let's do that. We just need to make some space for the queue, for example. So it will be placed a bit further back. There. We'll have the queue there, the exit there. Okay, so we'll just move this sign to the side. And add a queue for this one. And it starts at 2. We can probably increase that to 3. Yeah, long queue for this one. We'll increase that to 3 also. People will pay that, right? Yes, they do. People are thirsty. You have 1 store here for root beer. So we'll need to place 1 more of those. So let's see here. You can have as much lemon as you want. We only have 1 drink. Well, we have 4 available. Okay, so let's simply remove actually that one, and then we'll replace it, and we have a lot of alternatives. So let's just go through and do this for all the stores and increase the price just a bit. And then let's also place, we have the Western Wheel, we also have the Swan Buffalo Roundabout. We could use that one. That one would actually fit here, right? We can have it right there. So we can have the entrance in the back here by the hotel and the exits there. let's open that then. Okay, so a lot of people in queue here, so I think I'll try to, let's see what happens. It's now 463 and 242 in excitement rating. So if we make it, or we could have 2 trains. Yeah, that would probably be better. It's precisely that we want. Or is that? If a third one would be added, yeah, it would be out there, so it doesn't really fit the station. Would it be better with 1 train that's really long or 2 trains? I think 2 trains is the alternative to go. So let's do that, and people are paying 3, are they paying 4? Yes they are. 63. Increase it to 5. Yeah, you still pay that. You also pay that. Alright. Let's leave it at that. Let's see how our other coaster over here is doing. Not a lot of people in the queue anymore. They want to go on it again, that's great. So anyhow, the park value is now at 35. We are still not making a profit. Well, we're nearly just going plus minus here. So if we start at repaying just a bit, 2,000. Actually, we probably want an ATM so that people don't run out of money in the park. Where could we place that? Sort of central. Yeah, we could have that right there. It's like a service alley of sorts. Good, we've swallowed most of the queue. Our park rating is really good now. Yeah, all our litter is almost gone. We could possibly then, yeah, staff wages was quite high, 300. We can possibly now, some of the janitors, they have done their job, so we will, actually none of these. Okay, janitor 2 is sweeping, you are right there. So we will discipline fire. Yeah, I'm sorry. Sorry. We probably only need like 3 right now, barely even that. And to help them, how many waste bins do we have? We don't have too many right here. So we should add a bunch more of those. Well, we have some. We have 2 there, but we don't have any in here. So we want that. Okay, there's one there. Place that there. There's one there. One more there. One there. Especially around the stores here. It's good. Can have one in there. Over here. In front of the hotel. By our right over here. Let's do that. What are people paying here? They say it's really good value. That's great. We can probably raise it to 150, possibly. How are we doing on rides? We have the TNT Vortex, we have the Lasso. There are, I think, 3 other thrill rides in the Western theme. So possibly that we would like to wait for those. We also have the Western wheel that we could add. Can have it right here. Now we basically have all the Western attractions. Oh yeah, now we have a queue here again. Maybe it had been out of order before. I don't know. So now this month I hope it'll go better. We will have reduced the staff wages quite a bit. We want the research, I believe, so that we can have more thrill rides. And the loan interest will go down a bit. the park value is now 42. So we have just a little bit to go there. So I guess this park is a bit like the Mine Mountain again, that we'll have to let the time pass by a bit, as there's not too much that we can do. We got awards. Best value, best western scenery. Alright, we're doing plus some 800 per month. The guests were still complaining a bit about thirst, so we should add a couple more of those. We can add one over by the other coaster, so let's have you right there. And we should probably add one here towards the entrance as well. Where could we have you? Could possibly have you in the back here. Like, it doesn't really make sense to have a bunch of stuff back here, but no, it doesn't, because it's just equally as far to walk. We can possibly extend it just next to the information here booth near the entrance. Let's do that. Anyhow, I will let the time pass a bit more, and hopefully we'll get some more Western themed attractions that we can expand with. Or we could also look at another coaster perhaps, but that will require a bit more money. But that will have to be in the next episode. As always, my name is Søren, and I thank you for watching.